This video and all content on this channel is performed by a pest control professional, and it is always recommended to hire a pest control pro in your area to perform any pest control in or outside your home. Pesticides can harm you and your loved ones. Anyone who is performing the information in this video is doing so at their own risk. If you decide to try the info provided in this video, please always check with the local laws in your area and read the labels of any product you use. The label is the law.
Hey everybody, this is Jason Akers again with Green Acres Pest Control. And today I want to go over your options to control the bedbug problem that's sweeping across the world. Not just North America, Canada, United States, but all over the world. I want to give you your options and try to go over each one of them for a little bit. I guess you could probably figure by the title of this video, but and try to explain what the effectiveness is of each one of these options, so you know what you're in store for. This is not going to be just a Crossfire video. For those that follow me and know I talk a lot about that pesticide, using it for bed bugs. This is going to go over diatomaceous earth, heat treatments, pyrethrins if that's all you can get a hold of, and how to actually get rid of bed bugs if you can't get Crossfire where you live, and what to do. If you can, you should use it, but let's go over these options so you know what you're in for. Bed bugs can build resistance to pesticides. Oh, and like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, if I haven't dropped that in here. But bed bugs develop resistance to pesticides. This is one of the problems. This is why people have, heat treatment as an option, even freeze treatments as an option. Vicane is something that people use as an option. But I want to go over a little bit each one of these and try to explain why I do what I do and why I recommend what I recommend to do, because this is what I do. This is what I do for pest control. So, heat treatments. I want to go over the dangers of heat treatments. I want to explain to you what a lot of people don't explain to you. When you're sitting down with your pest control technician and he's giving you your options for bed bug control, and he's telling you, we're going to come in here, we're going to use heat, we're going to use a pesticide residue as well, it's going to take care of your problem. And then they have you sign your paperwork, your contract or whatever, but in that contract, in the fine print, you're actually signing a waiver that will absolve the company that you're hiring from any damages done to your house, because heat damages your home. It is a fact. It happens. I have so many pictures of failed heat treatments. Not only did it damage the house, but after the technician left the house still had bed bugs. It's not a viable option, in my opinion. To something that, like bed bugs, here's the facts about bed bugs. They do not carry pathogens that transfer to human beings. They're not going to make you sick. Mosquitoes will make you sick. Ticks will make you sick. Fleas can make you sick. Bed bugs, they don't make you sick. They might affect your mind. They might make you a little crazy because you lack of sleep. They might, in extreme cases, cause, anemia. But truthfully, as far as actual diseases, they do not carry any diseases at all. And in most bed bug cases, you don't really have problems with anemia either. These are in extreme cases, like some of the places that I've been. And I'm going to show you those on the screen now. This is a bed bug infestation. So this used to be a chair. A chair used to sit here. And just to give you an idea of how bad they are, these are all bed bug casings. All of them. I mean, there's piles of them. Piles of them. Oh my goodness. Everywhere. Just to give you an idea of the kind of things we as exterminators deal with. This is an infestation that has been going on for a very long time. Years. There's a live one right there, crawling on an outlet that they had here. It's probably one of the worst ones yet. But the thing is that not every case is like that. Most cases I go to, I have a hard time finding bed bugs. I might find 1, 2, maybe 5 or 6. That's it. You know, it's not really that bad. People bring them in from a hotel trip, and I don't understand why an exterminator would come in and sell a heat treatment if someone only has a handful of bed bugs. You just go in there, you spray, you get rid of them. Typically, you never even have to go back. You just do a one-time treatment and they're gone. But these are the things that heat does. Nobody thinks about this. Nobody thinks about this. Everybody's all worried about, killing their bed bugs and trying to get rid of them as quick as possible. But heat will cause the silicone in your house. So do you have silicone around your baseboards? Do you have silicone around your doors, around your door trim? Do you have any kind of caulking at all anywhere in your house? Around your tub fixtures, your sink drains. Do you have silicone? Will shrink when heat is applied. It will actually it can congeal, it can melt, and it can break away and crack away from all these places that I just talked about. Also, another thing that will happen after a heat treatment is the bathtubs. All right, so there are these videos, and I try to explain it this way because most people understand, because there are some viral TikTok videos going about where people will go in and they will create little plastic trinkets. And what they do is they take the plastic, they color little pictures and stuff on them, and then they stick it in the oven, and the plastic will shrink down and make these little teeny trinkets that they can make earrings out of, they can make jewelry, all kinds of little things out of these little pieces of craft plastic. All right, plastic shrinks when it gets hot. So if you get the house really, really hot, I've actually had people complain to me where the guy came in, did a heat treatment, and when they came back in the house, their tub drains had popped loose. Their shower had actually shrunk inside where it was in the wall. This is a pretty severe thing because it got so hot in the house that the plastic, because a lot of tubs aren't fiberglass anymore. A lot of tubs aren't steel or iron or whatever anymore. A lot of bathtubs are actually made out of plastic. And the plastic, it will shrink. It will shrink. And so, all of the plastics and stuff that you have in your house, you have to think about that when you're going to do a heat treatment. What kind of damage, long-term damage, are you doing to your house over bug bites? It's just bug bites, okay? The bugs are biting you. They're obnoxious. They're irritating. You want to kill them. But heat is absolutely, it's my opinion, and this is my opinion. I've been in pest control all my life, 35 years, and I still cannot fathom doing that to somebody's house. I just don't. Ethically, myself, I don't feel like it's right to go in and do a heat treatment in someone's house knowing that this is the kind of damage that I could do. Hairspray cans. What if one gets accidentally left behind in the house under a bed and it gets really, really hot? Contents under pressure. Do not expose to fire. I've got a picture of one that the top popped off and the thing launched through the house like a rocket and went through 3-4 sheets of sheetrock all the way through the wall. If someone was in the house, got hit with that, probably would have killed them. That's crazy. That's one of the things. That's what happens. This is what happens during heat treatments. This does happen. This is absolutely something that happens, and that's why they have you sign these paperworks and stuff, these contracts, because they know the probability of this, and they know that it could possibly destroy your home, and I don't want you to destroy your home. That's why I talk about heat treatments being a poor option. And it's kind of extreme when you really think about it to do something like that to your house over a pest that doesn't even make you sick. So that's heat treatments. All right, so let's go into diatomaceous earth. Why is diatomaceous earth not a viable option for bed bugs? Does diatomaceous earth kill bugs? How well does it work? Is it effective? Is it an actual effective pest control solution? So diatomaceous earth, what it is it is diatoms. It is crushed up crustaceans that have been dredged either out of the ocean or out of shelves and stuff, places they can get to it. And they take these crushed up crustaceans and they grind them up, and they even more make it a little powder, real fine powder, and then they mix that in with silica dust, because something has to carry it. You know, diatoms, the diatomaceous earth isn't diatoms by itself. It's actually diatoms and silica dust. And silica dust is a carcinogen. If you want to talk about, you know, cancer causing things, it can cause lung cancers. In fact, it wouldn't even take but 2-second Google search and you could find this out about diatomaceous earth. It's really not a very safe thing to be exposed to. It's I wouldn't use it in my home, on my mattress, on my box spring. It's really not a safe, viable option to use in my home. Now, people get on me all the time. I've got several videos about diatomaceous earth, and they'll say things like, oh, but you'll use these carcinogenic pesticides all over people's beds, and you expect that to be safer than something all natural like diatomaceous earth. Well, arsenic's all natural. You know, arsenic kills people. You know, there are poisons in this world that are absolutely deadly poison to human beings that are all natural, that are not safe to use around human beings. And diatomaceous earth is one of those things. When you're going and you're putting it all over your bed in a powder, it is absolutely not safe. The pesticides that I have, the actual, you know, pesticides, have been through countless and rigorous testing over and over to prove their effectiveness against bugs and their safety around humans. The SDS, if you read the actual safety data sheet that's got all the scientific information on it, and how it was used and how it was tested, you will know that the pesticides I use don't cause cancer. In fact, it says on it right on the SDS, carcinogenic possibility? No, it's not. It doesn't cause cancer. So, you know, where diatomaceous earth does and can. So understand that this is why I don't recommend diatomaceous earth. I'm trying to be safe. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't kill bugs. It does. Diatomaceous earth will kill bugs. It doesn't kill them very quickly. Bugs can reproduce. Bugs can have it on their body for a long time before they die. Not every bug is going to die from diatomaceous earth. It is not effective at getting rid of bed bugs. I have gone into homes where they have taken this stuff and they have put it everywhere. And if it was really that effective and it really did work. Now, think about this. If it really did work, why are they calling me? Why am I having to go to their house? Why are people still willing to pay an exterminator to come in their house and kill bugs that the diatomaceous earth is supposed to be 100% effective, supposed to be amazing, supposed to be the only thing on the market that you can buy? Why would you talk to an exterminator when you can do this yourself? So just use some common sense. Think about it. It really isn't that effective. It really isn't. I would tell you if it was. I would absolutely sell you pounds upon hundreds of thousands of pounds of diatomaceous earth if I thought it was effective and it wouldn't harm you. But it will harm you, and it's not effective. So let's talk about some things that actually do work. So we went over heat treatments. We've gone over diatomaceous earth, and I've explained why they aren't viable options. I know there's people out there that still won't believe me, but, you know, I can't help that. I'm really trying my best to give you good advice. But, so, pyrethrins. Let's talk about pyrethrins, because this is one that I get a lot, because I deal with a lot of people from all over the world. I'm on YouTube. This is a international type thing, you know, and there are people all over the world that have bed bugs. Now, the pesticides that I use in my business, if you were to call me today and I came to your house and I treated your house for bed bugs, I would use a neonicotinoid in your house. That is a family of chemicals. Now, you have Alpine WSG is a neonicotinoid. Temperate is a neonicotinoid. Crossfire is a neonicotinoid. This is a family of pesticides. These pesticides have been outlawed in a lot of countries, like, you know, Germany, France, different countries all over the world. In fact, there is a epidemic right now, or in France, Paris, of bed bug problems over there, and they're not really using very good viable chemicals to attack these bed bugs either, because neonicotinoids are not, used overseas. They're not used in Paris. And then they've got a bed bug outbreak, and this is one of the reasons that they continue to have bed bugs, and it's such a severe problem, is because they won't use the effective pesticides that have been proven to deal with pyrethrin resistant bed bug strains, because this is one of the things that happens with bed bugs is they become resistant. I guess they could become completely immune to where the chemical would no longer work, but so far what I have seen and what I've done is that they just become resistant to it. They don't die very quickly from it, and pyrethrins are naturally repellents to bed bugs. And so what happens when you treat around in your home with a pyrethrin spray, the bed bugs still know where you are. They can still track you. They know where you're sleeping. They know where you hang out. And so they just try to make their way across the chemical in a way that they can avoid it, because they see where it is. That's what it means to have a repellent pesticide in your home, is that the bugs can see it and avoid it. And sometimes that works really well. If you're going to use a repellent outside, like to keep ants out of the house, or spiders or crickets or something like that, and you want them to come up to the chemical and say, ooh, I don't want to cross that, that's poison, I'm going to stay away from that, that is a repellent pesticide, so they won't cross over it. Works really well. The problem with bed bugs is that they live in your home, and they just have to find a way to get around the chemical, and they will do this. They will find a way to get around the chemical and get to you. This is what happens. You have to be extremely thorough when treating with pyrethrins. You can get rid of bed bugs using pyrethrins. If you live in another country and you can't get Crossfire, and you're really upset, you're really aggravated, you don't know what to do, and you're at your wit's end, you can use typical bed bug sprays that you buy in the store, but you have to apply them very regularly, very often. Some as often as once a week, for as much as 6 months. It's something that you have to continuously treat for. Usually I recommend buying something online that you mix yourself that's got a residue of 30 days, because you're only having to treat your house once a month for 6 to 9 months. And that's a lot more doable for most people. Most people are not going to want to flip their house completely upside down every single week, or keep, it's pretty obnoxious when you think about that. You have to bag up all your stuff. You have to keep your stuff separated. You have to wash your laundry and keep it separated from your bedroom, because bed bugs will get into that stuff, and especially because you're using a repellent chemical. Now, another thing that repellents will do, like pyrethrins will do, is they will chase bed bugs around. They will move them around. They will force them up near the top of the wall, like up near the crown molding. It will force them into the wall voids, into places that they normally would not live, but because there's a repellent in the room and they're trying to avoid it, they will seek places that haven't been sprayed, that haven't been, had a pesticide residue put on them. And so you can run them from bathrooms, you can run them in the bathrooms, you can run them in the hallways, you can run them, into other parts of the house that you normally would not see them. And this is the same for ants and roaches and stuff like that too, is if you treat around where these bugs are active, you will actually chase them into other rooms of the house if it's a pyrethrin-based pesticide. So, it's something you have to be very thorough. You have to treat the entire home, everything, the whole house has to be treated very, very thoroughly. And I go over this in my videos. I've got videos showing how to treat houses for bed bugs. I'm not going to go into that right here, right now. I'm just giving you your options, and I'm trying to go from like the most expensive, least effective to the, cheapest, most effective, so, through this video. But pyrethrins are about middle ground. It is possible to get rid of bed bugs using pyrethrins, things like bifenthrin, cypermethrin. They have limitations on the label. This is one of the problems I go over in a lot of my other videos, is that the label is the law. You really do need to follow the label. The reason the label is written the way it is to keep you safe. So when you use things like pyrethrins, they can cause neurological problems. if you're overexposed to them. They can cause nervous system issues, and you don't want that. You want to be safe. You want to, that's why I go over these things in these videos, is because I want people to do what is safe. So you need to read the label. When I tell you the label's the law, it basically means that the label is the direction that you need to follow. All right, it's like ordering an IKEA couch, getting into your house, and then throwing the directions out the window and trying to put the stupid thing together, because you know how IKEA is. Every single thing is in multiple little teeny tiny pieces, like a Lego set for adults. It's something that you would not do, and you should not do for pesticides either. If the pesticide comes with a label, you need to read the label thoroughly. I recommend reading it before you even purchase it. All pesticides have labels online visible for you to read. You need to read them and see, well, do I want to do this, or do I need to hire somebody? Because if you read that label and you're like, wow, this is an awful lot to have to do in order to keep myself safe and my children safe and still get rid of my bugs, I think I might hire a professional. Do that, because I do recommend that people hire a professional when they can, because you get insurance and you get the ability to hire somebody that you know is going to be able to get rid of your bugs and do a good job. And if not, take them to court. You've got some kind of legal recourse. But if you're on your own doing this by yourself, then yeah, you don't have any kind of legal recourse over something stupid you do yourself, because you broke the label and you disobeyed the rules on the label. And when you go to court and the judge is sitting there and your child is sick, he's going to say, well, did you follow the label? And you're going to have to say, well, what do you mean? What? The label? What? I just poured it in there and used it. That's how you get sick. That's how you hurt yourself. That's how you hurt your pets. That's how you hurt, somebody. Or you could damage your home, with the oily residues and stuff like that, stain something, and you don't want to do that either. All right, so pyrethrins kind of work, but if it's your only option, then, it's just a lot to have to go through. It's a lot to do. You're not going to get rid of bed bugs with just one treatment, with a pyrethrine treatment. It is going to take several months. Bed bugs can live, as per the state manual in Virginia, they claim that the adult bed bug can live up to a year without a blood meal, and the nymph can live up to a year without a blood meal. That's a very long time to go without feeding. They don't typically go that long without feeding if you're treating your home with a pyrethrine. Even though it's a repellent and they know where it is, eventually they will just get so hungry enough that they will come through the chemical and they will try to bite you, and then they will die. So, they do work eventually, but it's a lot. It's an awful lot. So let's talk about two other options. I got two other options. It's like 5 options for bed bugs in 2024 or whatever. I'm trying to give people up-to-date information, because not a lot has really changed in the years that I've been on YouTube, but I want people to know what's completely updated. So Apprehend. Apprehend is an option for bed bug control. You may even be able to get Apprehend where you live now. They were just selling it to pest control technicians, because there is definitely a learning curve around using Apprehend. It is a mold or a fungal spore. It is something you apply to the bed. It attaches to itself to the bed bug, kills bed bugs. It actually spreads from bed bug to bed bug. It's transferable. And the way I explain this to my customers is, I'm like, if you shake your hand, if you go to the bathroom and don't wash your hands and then come out and shake somebody's hand, you transfer that nasty stuff onto somebody else. So bed bugs are crawling through the Apprehend, and it gets on their exoskeleton, gets on their body, and they go and they hide in little corners and cracks and huddle together with other bed bugs, and it transfers from them to other bed bugs. And so it's highly contagious. It's very effective. It's a very effective pesticide, but it's not a typical chemical. It's not like a, it's actually it's like a bio weapon against bed bugs. It's not an actual chemical concoction that affects their nervous system or something like that. It actually eats away at them and kills them that way. It's very, very effective. So the problem with Apprehend is it's expensive. It's probably the most expensive chemical option there is out there as far as pesticide residual. Cheapest would be the pyrethrins, but then you're going to spend more on them because you're having to buy more of them. Like I said, the third option there, I was going over pyrethrins, but And they're cheap. They've been around for 50 plus years. They're really cheap chemicals. You can get them really easily. You can go to Walmart and buy them. They're pretty much everywhere. But the problem is that you have to buy a lot of them because you're having to treat, excuse me, you're having to treat all the time. So you're using a lot. You're actually spending more money in pyrethrins than you would in Apprehend with a one-time treatment. Apprehend will last 90 days and will kill the bed bugs for a whole 3-month period. It is a non-repelling spray, and the bed bugs don't know it's there. They just crawl through it and they die. So it's very, very, very effective. I don't recommend this for the standard do-it-yourselfer just because of the learning curve. It's the application method that's very difficult. You can't just use a standard home, pesticide sprayer with Apprehend because it's a spore. It's an actual fungal spore. If you use a sprayer and you don't have the right pressure, it can actually cause it to break up and damage the spore and cause it not to be effective. And so there's a lot of room for error, and there have been cases with this specific mold or fungal spore or whatever it is, of it actually causing rashes and inflammation in some people. It's an allergic reaction. Not everybody is going to have this type of reaction, but it has been noted that this does happen in people exposed to this pesticide, and you're having to treat around beds and stuff like that. And so you are going to be exposed to it as a homeowner, as the owner, the one being exposed. You're gonna be, because you're sleeping in the bed. And fifth would be Crossfire. So Crossfire is what I use. If I go out and I treat a house for pest control for a bed bug problem, I'm going to use Crossfire. That's what I've used for years. I've considered Apprehend. I've actually thought about it. I've thought of switching to Apprehend, or at least keeping it as a second option for people. It's a more expensive option, obviously, because it's about 3 times the price of a bottle of Crossfire. But it is an option that I've considered doing for people, and because I do know how to use the equipment, I do know how to apply the pesticide effectively, and I could probably do an Apprehend job. But I've yet to purchase it just because of the allergic reactions people get. But Crossfire, so far, nobody's had any reaction at all to it. It's extremely safe. Neonicotinoids are very safe pesticides. Now, Apprehend is not a neonic. It's not. It is a different type of a chemical. But Crossfire is a neonic. Crossfire, Crossfire, Alpine WSG, and Tempered are all neonicotinoids, and they're very effective against bugs. What it does, it affects a part of the nervous system that typically mammals don't have, or it affects a part of the nervous system mammals don't utilize. And so it's not going to harm you in any way if you use it in your house. People will ask me on a lot of my videos, like my TikToks and my other videos and stuff, they'll say, well, what about my toddler bed? What about my infant mattress? Can I treat these with Crossfire? Absolutely. In fact, the label says to treat those areas. The label says you can treat hospital beds and all kinds of things like this, where people are going to be likely exposed to residues from the chemical, but doesn't affect people. It's very, very, very safe. It doesn't even have a signal word on the label. So when people talk to me about the dangers of diatomaceous earth and other pesticides and stuff, even pyrethrins, I'll say either caution or warning or something on the label to explain to you that there is a danger when using these chemicals around children and pets. But Crossfire has no signal word, because when they actually did test it on animals and they tested it, they couldn't kill an animal at all. There was zero mortality. Now, it does kill fish if it gets in a fish tank, but lots of things will kill fish. Not just chemicals, but lots of stuff will actually kill fish because fish live in the water. I get this from people a lot. They're like, this is so toxic to fish. And I'm like, yeah, well, lots of things are toxic to fish if you pour it in the water. Sewage can kill fish if it's poured in the water. A lot of fish will eat sewage, but some fish die if they crawl or swim around in sewage. So there's lots of things that are toxic to fish. You can't base what is toxic to fish on what you can and cannot use inside your house. That's ridiculous. You're not a fish. You're not living in it. You're just living around it, but you're not living in it. You're not breathing it in, literally breathing in Fish allow the water to pass over the gills into their body. They're swallowing water every single day that is tainted with something, in fact, there have been cases where people have just used regular, plain old tap water and killed their fish based on what was in the tap water. So I think that tap water is more toxic than Crossfire in some of the things that you get out of your tap water, unless it's filtered tap water. But in fact, most of the world doesn't even have decent filtered drinking water. But anyway, I digress. Crossfire is not going to hurt you if you use it in your house. It's very, very effective. You may have to treat a second or third time if you're doing it on your own and you don't have the kind of experience I have. But when I go in and I treat houses for bed bugs with Crossfire, I typically never have to go back. I do have a couple. I mean, in fact, I think I did one this year where I did have to do a follow-up. I have one. Out of the hundreds of bed bug jobs I've done, I had to go back on one. But since using Crossfire in the last about maybe 5-6 years, I've been using it. I haven't had to go on, but maybe a handful. It's very, very effective. I used to offer my customers 90-day service plans, so they would call me up. I'd say, "Yep, it's 3 months paid up front, and it's a lot of money." But to have to go in and rearrange somebody's house every single month for 3 months. And so I'd get paid in advance. I'd go out, but on the second, third trip, I wasn't finding any bugs. So I just decided that I could do one times. I could save people a lot of money and do the bed bug work that way. And so because my goal as a pest control technician and an owner of a pest control business is to try to eliminate my customers' pest problems. I don't want them to have bug problems at all. I want to get rid of their bug problems 100%. And if they fire me because I did my job right, well, that's what I want. Why would I want a customer? Why would I want somebody to continue to pay me forever and ever and ever as if I'm not doing my job? Now, there are prevention. There's absolutely a lot to be said for preventative measures. And in fact, I don't even believe we would be in the bed bug problem we're in now if pest control practiced more preventative pest control rather than just treating it when it's a problem. I think that if you have pest control and you have somebody coming into your house regularly, let's say you work in home health care, let's say you work, in a school system or something, and you're at high risk, or in pest control like me, and you're at high risk for bringing bed bugs home, you should absolutely treat your house preventatively for pest control. Now, do you need to use Crossfire every month like I'm talking about now? No, you can use Alpine WSG. You can use just something so that if a bed bug or two are brought in the house on something, because usually it's just 1 or 2 bed bugs. It's not thousands. It's just like 1 or 2. And if you're just bringing in 1 or 2 bed bugs into your home, then a lot of times just a little bit of chemical residue in there, that's all you need. And that will absolutely keep you from getting bed bugs. So if you're worried that you might get bed bugs, if you've got a family member with bed bugs or you have a job that's high risk for bed bugs, just treat your house and you won't get bed bugs. I do Airbnbs. I service that have gotten bed bugs in. And when I go back, by the time I get to the house, when I can roll in there, bed bugs are already dead. Because I practice preventative pest control. And that's what I push. That's what I do. That's what I feel is the most effective for my customers. That's what I think is the most effective, period. So hopefully this video has given you, opened your eyes on the options that you have, whether it's heat, diatomaceous earth, pyrethrins, Apprehend, or Crossfire. Those are the 5 I went over in this video. If you could think of anything that you would like me to go over, maybe a part 2 to this video, then leave a comment below. I'm open. I'm just using the most popular, the 5 top most popular, and I wanted to go over pyrethrins too for people that live in other parts of the world where they can't get Crossfire. So hopefully this video will help you and you'll understand a little more about how to get rid of your bed bug problems effectively. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you really like it, consider subscribing to my channel. And also don't forget, I live stream every Thursday night. I try to. I've missed a couple live streams here recently with family issues and stuff like that, but hopefully I'll be able to get on there and talk to you guys and we can answer questions live. I have a phone number that people can call in and ask questions just like if it was a call-in radio show. So anyway, y'all have a great night. I appreciate it. Day, morning, whatever. It's morning here. There's the sun right there. So y'all have a good one. I'll talk to you later.